I'm Jason Concepcion, co-host of the official Game of Thrones House of the Dragon podcast, and I'm here to break down the extended trailer. This comes from George R. R. Martin's history of the Targaryen kings in Westeros, Fire and Blood.
The dream. It was clearer than a memory. And I heard the sound of thundering hooves. Splintering shields and ringing swords. And I placed my heir upon the Iron Throne. And all the dragons roared as one.
That's the voice of King Viserys. He's talking about a dream he has had to someone. The dreams are very important to the Targaryens. The only reason that they are not ash and rubble like everybody else from Old Valyria is that they listened to a dream from one of their ancestors that told them, hey, this entire land is going to get destroyed, so you should leave. And they left, and they remain the only dragon lords alive in this world. That last shot was really interesting. You see King Viserys bleeding a little bit from the Iron Throne. It's a fucking chair of blades. But if your subjects see the king bleeding because he got stuck by the chair, they're going to take that as a bad omen. They're going to be like, uh-oh, maybe fate doesn't favor this king that much. This is King's Landing in the 2nd century after the Targaryen conquest. So it's going to be a different King's Landing that you're going to see than you would remember in Game of Thrones. A lot of buildings that have not yet built yet. There's going to be certain buildings like the Dragon Pit that are going to be still in use, obviously, because this is the height of dragons in Westeros.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
The Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm. And our line is vulnerable, too easily ended.
You get a nice idea of the personality of King Viserys. He really cares about the realm. He's a good guy. He's a chill guy, a nice man, a very thoughtful man. The question is that the best thing for a kingdom where, you have to regularly pull someone's eyes out? Maybe not. We'll see.
Well, who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
That's Rhaenyra Targaryen. That's his only surviving natural child. As they said, a queen has never sat the Iron Throne, although there was an attempt earlier. It didn't go that well. And that established the precedent that, we favor the male line over the female line. And this is going to be an issue.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.
And there again, you get an idea of what a thoughtful guy King Viserys is. This is actually a really weird position to be in, to choose between two members of my family. Other rulers of Westeros would just do it. They just make the decision and not really care about it, but Viserys is different. Prince Daemon is the complete opposite of King Viserys. He is impetuous, he loves adventure, he's a man of action, he loves to fight, he loves to be involved in wars, whereas King Viserys is most definitely not that, because he's got the entire weight of a realm on his shoulders. This is Sir Criston Cole. He is from Dorne. He is a member of the Kingsguard. They held out for a long time against the Targaryen conquest, so they were essentially able to write their own ticket to joining the realm. They got to maintain a unique amount of autonomy with regards to the rest of the kingdoms that make up the 7 kingdoms. And he's going to be an important confidant to Princess Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra's succession will be challenged. Knives will come out.
So that is Alicent Hightower. She's the daughter of very powerful member of House Hightower, Otto Hightower. He's the hand of the king. Alicent perhaps might find herself kind of caught up in the web of Otto's ambitions.
You are the king. Your first duty is to take a new wife.
I have decided to name a new heir.
In King Viserys' hand, that is Blackfire, the Sword of Kings, Aegon the Conqueror's Valyrian steel sword. By the time we get to Game of Thrones era, about 180 years later, it is lost somewhere in Essos.
I have decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir.
No, you're not, or we wouldn't have a show.
War is afoot.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
The lords of the realm bend the knee.
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne, because that is the order of things.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
Now she is as an adult, Princess Rhaenyra as an adult.
Your family has dragons.
War somewhere. Now, Prince Daemon, as we said, is very much not like his brother. He loves to travel around and get in a lot of fights. So this is going to be one of those. Which one remains to be seen.
There are power men should never have trifled with.
This is a cooked egg. This is a cooked dragon egg. Ooh. There's Prince Daemon and Caraxes, his beautiful red dragon Caraxes. You know, dragons and their riders have a very intimate, perhaps magical bond. Don't be surprised if these dragons have personalities that can often mirror the personalities of the people who ride them.
Targaryens are closer to gods than to men.
The Gold Cloaks, in order to kind of keep him out of trouble, King Viserys and others would just give Daemon jobs, and one of his kind of most influential job was he was captain of the Gold Cloaks, and fashion-forward guy, Prince Daemon, he was the dude who was like, what if we put the gold cloaks on him?
If Rhaenyra comes into power, she can cut off any challenge to her succession.
So that, I believe, is the Catspaw blade from Game of Thrones Season 1. You will recall the assassin sent to kill Bran when he was in a coma wielded this blade. This is a Valyrian steel weapon, one of very, very few of these that are actually around in the world. And it kind of gives you an idea of how advanced the Valyrians were. They could create metal that was essentially unbreakable, probably magical, was forged by methods unknown. So secret, in fact, that when the Targaryens came to Westeros, they couldn't make more. They didn't know how to do it. And it's cool to see this here, the 180-ish years before it would show up in Winterfell in the hands of the Catspaw.
I am to inherit the Iron Throne. She will block my way.
Our hearts remain as one.
And the heartbreaking thing about it, too, is they were friends at one point. This is a story that's going to unfold over decades. So think about your own life, right? You are close with people and then you fall apart. There's going to be a lot of relationships that shift and change over the course of this series.
Our hearts were never one. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
That's all I do is imagine myself on the Iron Throne. That's all anybody does. What are you talking about? There's the Valyrian family. Corlys, his son, Leonor, Rhaenys, and Lyanna. They are also of Valyrian blood. Came to Westeros a while before the Targaryens ever got there. Traditionally not dragon riders, although several members of this family do ride dragons. Not Corlys, again, who is famous for being a great captain of ships.
Where is duty? Where is sacrifice?
And this looks bad, right? It's Princess Rhaenyra and Alicent Hightower appearing to struggle over a knife of some kind. I think that encapsulates what our story is going to be about in a lot of ways.
Now they see you as
That's it. House of the Dragon, August 21st. HBO Max, starting at $9.99 a month. It's a deal.